Okay, now we're on page 2 of the homework support videos for finance. Frida estimates that sales in her bed and breakfast will grow at 5% compounded annually. If current sales are $75,000, what will they be in 5 years? So I'm trying to find her end amount, her value, P sub n. Okay, it's compounded, so I'm going to use the compound interest formula. P sub n equals P sub 0, 1 plus, or times quantity 1 plus R over K to the NK. And then now I'm going to plug in the values and solve. So I have P sub n equals 75,000 times 1 plus 0.05 is my rate, compounded annually over 1, which you could leave out if you want. I'm just doing it there, so if it were something else, you know how to do this problem type. And then raised to the 5 times 1. And then go ahead and just crunch the numbers. And notice how I'm writing everything out so that I could get partial credit if it were a quiz or something like that. I would need to show my work, or if it were an activity, right? So this isn't graded, but I put the instructions and kind of give you a heads up as to how it would be graded. So this would be 1.05, and then raise that up to the 5th power. So that's going to end up being this thing here becomes 1.27628, kind of showing some in-between things, which you could do or not, but just to show you, make sure you're right on the right track and you're getting those same numbers along the way. And then times 75,000. So if you're not getting the right numbers, that means something's happening when you're typing it into your calculator that we should look at. And then this is $95,721 and 0.11719, so on and so forth. Let me fix this a little bit here. Okay, and then I'm going to write that in a sentence, and when I do that I'll round off. So the sales or estimate is $95,000 or $95,721, and we'll call it 12 cents. And that's good. You don't have to be elaborate with these sentences. Just have some context. At the very minimum, make sure you have what it is, like it is going to be or something like that. And then with the dollar symbols and stuff like that. So number 6, Susan purchased a government bond which has maturity value of $1,000 after 18 years at 12.75%. So that would be 12.75%. Move 2 places left. So R is going to be 0.1275. Okay, so just be careful with those types. Sometimes people just leave that as 12.75 instead of moving the decimal. How much did she pay for this bond? So it doesn't say it's compounded, or it says simple. So if it doesn't say compounded, then it would be simple even if it didn't say it. So she's trying to find the initial value, P sub 0. We're doing that. And so the formula we're going to use is P sub n equals P sub 0, 1 plus RT, because it's simple interest. The maturity value is P sub n, so I'm going to plug that in 1,000, leave the P sub 0 as is, because I don't know it, that's what I'm trying to find. 1 plus the rate is the 12.75%. So remember that was 0.1275 times 18 for the years. So I just have to get this part done first and then divide both sides by that. So be careful not to just go 1 plus 0.1275, right? So we got to do multiply this out first. 0.1275 times 18. And I get 2.295 and then plus 1. So if you're doing this on your calculator, don't forget to add that 1 in there. That'll throw you off. And then I'm going to divide both sides by that 3.295. So I just do 1,000 divided by second answer, or you could just retype it because it terminates. P sub 0 equals 3.295. So, what? I got hit something wrong there. 1,000 divided by 3.295. Let's get that again. Okay. P sub 0 is equal to 303.490136, so on and so forth. And then my sentence is she should pay $303.49 for the bond. Last one, number 7. Jack deposited $5,000 of his internship earnings into an account earning 6% compounded weekly. Okay, so we have R equals 0.06. We have K equals 52. How much will he have in the account after 4.5 years? So our N is going to be 4.5. If you put T instead of N, that's fine. It's just kind of the way they do the formula. It's with N for this one to match the subscripts on the piece of N. So the formula we would use is the compound interest formula. P sub N equals P sub 0, 1 plus R over K to the NK. Oops, that's actually part B. A is, we are trying to find P sub N equals, we don't know. Okay, and our K was 52. Mark that again. Then we're going to plug in our values that we know. So initial deposit was 5,000. 1 plus 0.06 over 4.5 years, 4.5, to the 4.5 times the 52. Whoops, that shouldn't be years down there. That should be K. Let me fix that. Sorry about that. A little too fast. So my K is 52 from here. And my N is 4.5. And when you type this in, you're going to want to use parentheses carefully there. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. You could do 1 plus parentheses 0.06 divided by 52 and parentheses, or use your fraction key. Or you can just type it in 0.06 divided by 52 and then hit enter. You should get 0.001153, so on and so forth, and then add 1. Don't forget to do that because that'll mess everything up. You'll get some weird numbers. Then I'm going to raise up to this exponent. So I'm going to raise that to the parentheses 4.5 times 52 end parentheses and hit enter. And so all this here comes out to be 1.30976, so on and so forth. And I'm going to multiply that by 5,000. And so I get P sub n equals 6,548 dollars. 802,855. You don't have to go out that far. I'm just trying to show you the full thing so you can see how it matches up with yours. And then my answer would be he will have $6,548.80 in the account. And that'll be after 4.5 years, but you can just be brief with that. And that is it. And then there's a couple of questions at the bottom just to reflect on. What are some main differences between simple interest problems and compound interest problems? Just maybe jot yourself down some notes. And then are there any similarities? And think about which formula to choose. So like what might you tell somebody else? Like for instance, like for number one, I always think of, well, if it doesn't say compound interest, it's not compounding. We don't get into annuities, but annuities are a lot more complicated, and they have multiple deposits that happen. So the similarity with the simple and compound interest is there's one lump sum that's initially deposited or borrowed, and then it goes from there depending on the rates and the time. All right, so have a great day. Hope that helps you work on your electronic homework.